Hi guys, so I'm just doing a video today on how I cover my skin, how I cover my acne and kind of go for a full coverage look. So yeah, I've already done my eyes. If you did want another video on my eyeshadow and how I do my eyes, then just drop me a message, leave a comment or something like that. I'm just gonna show you guys how I cover my spots. So I'll just go up close up for a second. I've already got like concealer around my eyes and stuff. Yeah. I start off with a moisturiser. I just use the Nivea Soft moisturiser. I just love it. It's quite thick, so it's not for everyone. Some people like just a really thin moisturiser, but this tends to work pretty well as a primer for me, really. So it's like a 2-in-1. Because it is thick, it goes a little bit tacky just before it fully sinks in, which is kind of perfect for my foundation, really. Also, excuse the one-handed nails. I really need to do I do my own nails, so I always do the left first because I'm right-handed, and then I go to do my right hand and I can't be bothered because it's a pain. So I end up with one hand of nails. It's really bad. So once I've done that, then I'll go in with my Barry M liquid chrome highlighter drops. These are really, really good. I tend to find that with my acne, my skin isn't very naturally glowy or anything like that. It's always red and dry in places and oily, and it's just not great. So this gives it a nice finish underneath my foundation. So once I've done that, I literally go straight in with my foundation. So I usually use, let me just grab this. I usually use the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. It's bloody amazing. £7, and yeah, it's great coverage, really, really good. It's one of my favourites. But I decided to try out the Huda Beauty Foul Filter foundation. So it looks like this. It's really pretty. It's a nice bottle. I've got the shade Creme Brulee. I found that they have like websites to match like other foundations to get. No, that doesn't make sense. It's a website where you put in your foundation, so the one that you're currently using or something, put in that shade, and then it'll tell you the shades of all the other foundations that would match your skin, which is great. So I got Creme Brulee, so I'm just going to put a bit on my forehead, a bit on my cheek there, my chin, a little bit on my nose. Sometimes I go in with 2 different colours. So say with my Maybelline Fit Me, I'll get a dark shade and a light shade and then mix them. So I'll just put different blobs all over my face to get the right colour, depending on where my tanning stage is at. If like I'm pale, or if I've just put a tan on, or if it's at the in-between stage. That's the best way to do it. Get 2 colours, one light, one dark, mix them. You'll always get that pretty much perfect shade. But for this foundation, it's quite close, so I'm just gonna go straight in with this. The best way for me is to use a big brush. I know a lot of people use beauty blenders, but I don't get the coverage that I like with that. I don't know why. Probably using it wrong, I don't know. But so I use a big brush. So sometimes I'll use the Peaches Makeup PC04 brush. So it's like a powder brush, really. It's all dirty and it's got powder on. But yeah, so sometimes I'll use that. I can't find it at the moment, but Real Techniques multitask brush, that's amazing. It's really big and fluffy. At the moment I'm using a Spectrum B01. It's just like a flathead fluffy brush. It's not the cleanest at the moment. I have just gone in with some alcohol spray just to disinfect it. But yeah, big fluffy brush. And what you don't want to do is swipe and like do stroke like motions, because if I show you, so if I do a stroke, it's gonna do that. I mean, it's still pretty good, like, but it's gonna do that all over the face. See what I mean? So like, you're gonna get stroke marks. What I do is I press it into the skin. See what I mean? Look at that coverage though. So when you press it into the skin, it gives you more coverage. You don't see any strokes or lines or anything like that, anything noticeable. And you just keep patting until you're happy that it's all sunk in. It smells amazing too. I've never had a foundation that smells so good. Like, I find myself sniffing my brush. I look like a right freak. Before people say like that's a lot of foundation, I do use a lot of foundation. I'm not gonna get away with getting a full coverage, a high coverage look with like one pump of foundation. I mean, this is pretty close because it is so thick, this foundation. But yeah, I have so much redness and all my spots and stuff. It's not. I do put a lot on. Okay. Okay. Oh, don't forget your ears. I used to never do my ears, and I'd always I'd have pictures taken and then have like white ears because I forget to fake tan them as well. Not good. Not good. And then drag it down my neck a bit. I'm at that stage where I need to fake tan again, so I'll be doing that later. So I don't really wear fake tan on my face if I can help it. So I'm going to blend that down here, and then I'm probably going to be a bit darker than what my neck is when I do this because I'm putting tan on later. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my concealer. So you need 2 different coloured concealers. So you need one that's going to match your foundation, if not spot on, then really close to it, and then one lighter than your foundation. A lot of people would just go for the lighter to highlight areas, which is fine, but if you're covering up spots or blemishes, any imperfections like that, then you need to have one that matches your foundation. Otherwise, you're going to put a lighter concealer on those areas and it's just going to highlight them. They're just going to stand out more, so you don't want that. So for the concealer that I use to cover my spots up, I'm going to take it on the back of my hand, big blob like that, and then I use like a lot of the brushes that I use are like eBay ones or something like that, just cheap ones, because they are still really good. You'd be surprised. Like, the brush itself is good, but that's not so good. We'll ignore that. So yeah, on the back of my hand, excuse the pink from my eyes, and then use this. So I'm just going to dab it in to where the spots are. I mean, with this foundation, I don't really need that much concealer either. It's that good. Like, usually I'll have the concealer to cover up redness, but there isn't much redness here. Got some nasty spots up here. They hurt. Just dab it in, and then this side, I've got some red here. I mean, I've got them everywhere really, but the ones I can see the most. See, that one, these ones really annoy me when they're, I don't know if you can see. You just can't cover it no matter what you do. You could put loads on, but you're still going to see that broken bit of skin. Okay. I'm quite happy with that. She says as she applies more. Right, then highlight. So I actually use my foundation brush for this because then it blends out the edges a bit more so you don't have like proper white patches. Pull some right faces when you're doing your makeup, don't you? I'm just sat here like... like so. Obviously you can still see my spots. It's just textured skin, do you know what I mean? They're bumps and they're not gonna... unless you're putting cement on your face, they're gonna be there still. For me, it's just about reducing the redness. They're not gonna disappear. You're not gonna completely get rid of them. So if you're wanting to, you know, completely rid your spots, even the bumps and stuff, it's not gonna happen. Not with makeup. So once you've done that, then I go in with a foundation stick to contour. So I do cream I never used to cream contour, I used to just powder this and go in with powder, but I found that this gives you a much nicer finish, more dewy and natural finish rather than caking loads of powder on my face. So I use the L'Oreal Infallible foundation stick. This colour's in toffee, so obviously it's a lot darker than what my skin is, to contour. I've never actually really used this as actual foundation. I don't think it's that good for that, but for contouring it is really good. Jawline, my chin, nose, forehead. And then I use a Real Techniques contour brush. Move hairs out the way. And then what I do is, so with my cheekbones upwards, so I'll push it upwards. So it's like a patting motion, but I'll pat upwards, and then like my bottom half of my face downwards. So, and you only need to be gentle with this because you don't want to completely push it up. So I start with the top bit first, just blend that up, and then gradually work my way down to soften that line. it's not as harsh. I'm going for quite a strong contour today though, because it's a very kind of full coverage look. So I'm quite happy with that. And then this is what I mean with the jawline and stuff, then you want to pull it down, you don't want to go up. I do this. Show off my double chin. Very pretty. Obviously, when you're contouring, it depends on your kind of face shape as to where you contour. So I've got quite a square shaped head, quite a like square forehead, so I tend to bring it round and round here. I'm just dropping everything now. Back in with the foundation brush if you've brought that down too much, which I tend to do. Forehead. So again, you want to be pulling it up, blend into the hairline. This is where I get it looks like I've got orange roots. Maybe I should try covering it like that. This foundation really does work well with like all these products as well. So these are the products that I found worked well with the Maybelline Fit Me that I used to always use. But yeah, they work well with the Huda Beauty one as well. Okay, and then once I've done that, then I need to go in and powder. My favourite powder, I've tried others, but I absolutely love this one. It's the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in transparent. And then what I'm going to do, I'm literally dropping everything, is take this Spectrum brush, it's a angled brush, and then I'm going to use the highest part of the angle, you know what I mean, and then pack on some powder onto that, and then pat it on again. So I go in with quite a bit under the eyes, where like I tend to get creases, T-zone, and then wherever I've got spots, so all over for me. And then with any excess powder that's on the brush, I'll go over where I contoured and just anywhere else. And then sometimes I'll go back in with some bronzer. This is the NYX matte bronzer in Deep Tan. It's my favourite bronzer. It's really, really, really good. I'll use that same brush that I powdered with if I do want to go back in. just because when you powder you can kind of lose the intensity of the product, of like the cream contour, so you can just go back in and build that back up. And sometimes it works really well, especially if you don't feel like the cream contour's blended enough, then the bronzer will blend that in more. I love a really bronze nose, I don't know why. On your ears, down your neck. I told you I'm going to be darker than what the rest of my body is, because I want to tan later. Just put a bit of bronzer on my neck and it'll be fun. And then a lot of people don't use blusher, but I love blusher. Adds a bit of colour to my skin. Even though I've just tried to get rid of the redness, now I'm going to add redness. Right, just using a Real Techniques, I think it's like a blusher brush. It's really old, like it is a bit battered now, but I love it. Again, patting it on lightly. You can't go wrong when you pat it, I don't think. If I was to swipe that on, I could get like really harsh lines. It'd be a lot harder to blend. Put some on my nose. Okay, now highlighter. I've lost the brush that I usually use. I have a 3-year-old who likes to run off with my brushes, so I always find them like in random places, like the toothbrush holder or under his bed. So I usually use a Peaches makeup one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a nice round, it's like a long fluffy one, but I'm just going to use a standard fan brush until I find that. Oh, and I'm using the Doll Light Shine Bright by Doll Beauty. It was hard to get out. And then I use a smaller brush. It's like a little, this is a Zoeva, it's like a half pencil brush. No, it's just a little small one. I'm just going to go back into the inner corners. And then do a Cupid's bow. On my nose. And then finish off with doing my lips. Where's the pencil gone? So this is just a NYX, what is it called? Suede matte lip liner in Stockholm. So just line around my lips. And then I use MAC Peach Stock lipstick. And then this is just like a cheap Calvin Klein lipstick that I got ages ago, just to over the top. I've got really dry lips at the moment. And then, drop that as well. NYX Butter Gloss in Fortune Cookie. Really dry lips. Ugh. Yeah, my cat crying. I've had to lock her out of my room because she literally jumps on my dressing table. She eats my eyelashes. She causes absolute mayhem. So I'm about to shut her out for the video. I feel awful. I'll let her back in a second. And then touch-ups. I go back in with my NYX brow gel just to make them all bushy again. I'm going to close up for this. And finish off with, this is a matte finish NYX spray. I usually use the dewy, but I've lost it. I need to get some more. But within this, I've tipped in a load of broken highlighter to make it a bit sparkly. And that is the finished look. So I hope you enjoyed it and learnt something, or if you thought it was absolutely shocking, then I apologise. It's literally just a guide on how I do my makeup, just because I've had a lot of people ask me how I cover my acne and stuff like that. So yeah, this is what I'd do if I wanted a full coverage look. If you have any tips or any requests for anything else, then just leave a comment and I'll have a look at it. But yeah, thanks for watching.